everybody. Welcome to the Carbine WildStar Livestream. This is Stefan Frost here. I'm the design producer at Carbine Studios. I'm here with Louis Claveau. You are the global community manager. That is correct. We're going to run you guys through some awesome stuff today. We have the Esper that we are focusing on. So get prepared because it's going to be awesome. But before we get into that, Louis, let's run through some interesting stuff.
Yeah, so we're going to talk to you about beta, pretty much, because, you know, we've heard a lot of people had concern and they wanted to know a bit more about the beta. So we're going to run through a few items on there.
Sure.
We got first the post on Reddit that our live producer, Cog, has been doing. And if we can switch very fast to the website, so you can see, yeah. So basically, you see here, it's been giving a lot of answers on what to expect.
If you haven't gone to the WildStar Reddit, by the way, it's awesome. Love hanging out there and checking out what people are saying. And you'll see posts from the devs here from time to time. And this one specifically is from Craig, who is our live producer, dropping a lot of information on people on what the deal is. So go to the WildStar Reddit and check it out. The only thing I don't like about them, they're Pappy supporters. They're Team Pappy, not Team Frost.
And maybe you noticed on the post right there, on the side, you had this poster that one Redditor come up with, which is the Frost versus Pappy.
Yeah.
So basically, I have a question for you, actually.
Yeah, sure.
Frost or Daddy?
Here's the thing. Depends on the mood. Like if I'm gonna go PvP, I'm gonna go Daddy, because when I own Chad, I'm gonna make sure that he knows that I'm Daddy, right? But otherwise, usually it's Frost. You know, just straight up Frost. I don't go to the bank and be like, "Hey, Daddy's here to cash a check." I just say Frost is here, because I talk in the third person. It's weird sometimes. So
okay.
Yeah, Frost is usually better, probably.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. So we wanted just to talk about, because you could probably not read what was on the screen.
There's a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So there's few questions that we want to give you answers. So first, if you were a CBT player, then you're in. If you're not in, you're about to get in into this winter beta.
Yeah.
Now, if you were a stress tester, Cook wanted to make sure that you understand that he got your back. So that means that you'll get in at some point, not all at once, but you will get in December, starting to get in December. And the other items that we wanted to cover was the hoverboard.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of excitement about it, right?
Definitely.
And so people were like worried, what will happen if I don't get it into the beta? And we wanted to make sure that you understand that it's not exclusive to the beta tester, in the sense that you will, even if you're not making at all into the beta, at some point you will still be able to get it into the game.
Yeah.
So don't worry about that.
Definitely get a hoverboard when day one when we release. You can earn a hoverboard when you make it to a specific level in the game and talk to a mount vendor. So
yes.
Good.
And the last item that our own Scooter wanted me to make sure that you guys know about is the beta survey. So the beta survey that we have, we'll give the link you'll have the link in the notes, in the show notes. Make sure to take it, because we will select the right amount of the right profile, basically, for these people, and we are looking for a specific profile at the beginning, and make sure that you take the profile, because
basically it'll help your chances if you fill out that survey. If you're like, I'm hungry for the beta, I need it. Here's the thing, just fill that out. Your chances improve if you want to get in. Fill out that survey. It'll help us out, and it'll help you out getting the beta.
Yeah. So now I think we're gonna go and dive right in the Esper. So yeah. So that's gonna be my cue. But first, we wanted to show you the Ultra Drop, which is the teaser that the cinematic team did. So.
Oh, dude, we're gonna drop it like it's hot. Check it out right now. Ultra Drop. Hey everybody, that was our nice little teaser here. I'm now here with Hugh Shelton.
You are. I'm not Luik.
He's not. He's not Luik, believe it or not. And we're here with Jade Martin also.
Hey,
this is the class design lead, and then we have the Esper designer for the class as well.
The principal Esper designer. Right
That's
here.
that's your title, right?
Sounds nice.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
You know what? He's actually the principal designer on the Stalker too.
Oh.
But we're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that today. We're going to talk about that later. Let's talk about the Esper. So, for anybody that has not seen WildStar and is like, what is this Esper I hear of? What's the deal on the Esper, dude?
You know, the Esper, I mean, he's a ranged caster, pretty familiar to MMOs if you played a traditional caster, but instead of, slinging fireballs, you're slinging mind blades, right, illusions. You're summoning phantoms, spectral phantoms and things like that to tank for you or deal damage, even heal you back up. So
Sure.
a lot
Now,
of things you're doing.
what's the role of the Esper? Are they like a tank? Are they a healer? Are they DPS? What's the deal?
So they are a healer and they are also DPS.
Okay.
So.
Cool. So today, let's run through a few things. One of the things I'm really excited about today, actually, that we're going to do is we're going to show off some solo play like we normally do. We're going to show off a little bit of PvP maybe, and maybe we're going to even show off a little bit of dungeon action so you can see what's going on with the different kind of roles and what you can do with our limited action set. So let's get started here. So we're in Aurora with a Chua Esper.
Yes.
So you can see Jade's got his stuff going on. Let's talk a little bit about your action set and the attacks that you have. What do you got going on here on the bar?
Yeah, so this is a primary rollout. This is what I'd call the nuker Esper, if you will. So we got Telekinetic Strike is a long-range attack. This is going to be your builder. This is going to build your psi points, which you use for your finishers, which are your big attacks. These are like the bread and butter for the Esper. This is what makes them the Esper.
Sure.
And that's so the first one we have on the bar right now is actually Mind Burst. It summons or as Chris Lynch likes to call it, Bird Strike.
Right.
So this is summons a huge illusionary bird that deals.
You know
massive
what?
damage.
Instead of just talking about what they do, why don't you jump into combat and I'll
do
cover
that.
what they do?
There you
That's
go.
what people want to see. They want to see gameplay. They don't want to just
Yeah.
see, they don't want to hear us talking about what things are. They
Yeah,
want
that's
to
true.
they want to see it in action.
So yeah, that you just did right there was a knockback.
Yep. So he's building up focus points, or psi points is what we currently call them,
Right.
with his number 1 ability, which is Telekinetic Strike. And then he's using up those psi points to use his number 2 ability, which is Mind Burst, or as Chris Lynch likes to call it, Bird Strike. Bird
Right.
Strike,
Yeah.
Bird Strike.
So we got this guy. He's got some serious ads with him. Let's talk about this. So this first starter, what is that?
So what he just started off with was Concentrated Blade. It's actually an ability that has 2 charges, so he's able to cast it back to back, and then each charge regenerates on its own over time. So you'll see the number 3 ability, it has 1 charge back, the recharge timer's coming up, that means he'll have another charge in a moment. But what's nice about Concentrated Blade is it's an ability that he can cast off at the start of a fight. It has a little bit of a delay to it, so it's not going to aggro the mobs instantly. Instead, he can wait for those blades to hit, and at the same time, he's able to use his other abilities to kind of like do a huge spike. And that's pretty much what the Esper is all about, both on the DPS side and the heal side.
Okay.
Because they're able to build up psi points, and their finisher abilities at number 2 is more powerful based on the number of psi points that he has. So he just used a 2-point psi point, and he's also using Blade Dance there, which is building more psi points.
Gotcha. So also I wanted to point out we are in Aurora. Aurora is a Dominion-held zone. And what we're seeing is we're in a Skeech encampment, and occasionally you'll see mortar strikes just kind of coming in randomly. Those are environmental hazards. So if you're like, what are those giant missiles coming in out of nowhere? It's the Dominion lobbing them into these camps because the Skeech are attacking them.
Yeah, and Jade's probably not going to get hit by any of those because he's kind of hardcore.
Dude, super hardcore.
He's pretty good at the game, and I don't want people to be fooled by how he's handling this content to make it think that it's too easy. It's just Jade pretty much plays games all the time.
Right.
When he's not playing games, he's lifting.
Yeah.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Look, here's the thing. My back has to be strong to carry these guys in PvP.
Wow. See what he did? That was a
We'll
little
see about
trash
that.
talk.
We might see about that.
Yeah, we'll see about that later,
Later.
dude. We'll see what happens. So we're going into this micro here, this cave entrance. We're going to check out some stuff. There's lots of content in here, and we're trying to stick more towards the classes, so we're going to stick that way. But you'll notice that he's trying to keep these guys away from him. what's kind of like the core strategy for this guy?
So as an Esper, you have light armor, which means you're going to be taking a ton of damage if people are up close or if people are actually hitting you. So you're definitely trying to lead off with that big burst at the beginning by using concentrated blades and then following it up with the long cast time on telekinetic strike. Because actually telekinetic strike, you can't move around when you're casting it, unlike a lot of the other classes' basic attacks.
Sure.
This means the Esper is a little bit more stationary. But we're going to counter that a bit by giving it so that they have higher damage on those stationary attacks, so that they it's just a different playstyle, really.
Right.
And besides being able to cast, he's able to dodge. So he's able to get out of this telegraph, and then he's able to start casting again pretty easily. So it doesn't break up gameplay too bad.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, he's dodging out of telegraphs. He's staying back pretty well, so he's not taking a lot of damage. They're not even getting through his shields, really.
Sure. So, Jade, why don't you impress some of the folks? Why don't you take some more mobs? Because
I can do that.
you've obviously proven
Yeah,
pretty decent.
he's shown...
Got some breakout gameplay right there, by the way.
Oh,
I don't
yeah.
know if you guys
That's
caught
right.
that. Yeah, so the next
Start
time...
talking to me and I start missing things.
Start bringing up the friend UI.
I know, right? So here, in fact, if you can get attacked by that next time, we can show more of that breakout gameplay.
Sure, sure.
So...
He actually has a couple CCs on his bar that cause breakout gameplay for other players.
Yes,
that
in
was
the
a
PvP.
stun that he was hit by.
Correct. So what's interesting about our stuns is you're not just kind of locked into place and waiting for 4 seconds while somebody just beats on you. You can actually hit F quickly and get out of that. Or if you are that type of person where you're like, I'm not going to hit F 18 times, you can just take the hits.
And that's one of the most tame versions of breakout gameplay that we
Oh,
have.
bro.
Here
Oh,
it comes.
dude.
He took on a big group.
Oh,
That's-
Jade.
I hope that's not a first.
That is the first.
Baby
first,
Jade. Baby
First
Jade.
end on there.
Yeah.
Why don't we get out of this cave? Why
Yeah,
don't we
dude,
move? So,
let's-
I don't think you can handle it. So, you rezzed here. Why you woke here?
I mean, hey,
Dude, it's
like,
okay. You know,
I
I
had a
remember...
little bit of cash to spend, so I thought I'd wake you here.
Sure.
Nice little
I remember
feature.
the first time I played this game. You know,
Oh yeah.
it was hard.
Oh man.
Yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna head outside here.
If anybody's concerned about that wake here, he's only able to do that once in a while, just so you know. It's not something that you're able to do very often, and he
Yeah.
did have to pay a fee for it.
Yeah. So let's talk about that for a second while Jade makes his way up here and starts fighting.
Why don't you
some
get up
dudes.
someplace higher?
So we have the wake here option, and there's I was reading some stuff on Reddit or watching some videos or something, and people were saying, well, if you can just wake here all the time, if you're doing PvP, that kind of sucks. But you can only do it once, pretty much every half an hour, I believe. And
Yeah.
there's a monetary cost as well, so you have to pay
Not
money to do that.
An in-game currency cost.
Yes,
it's
yeah,
not anything like
it's
a
not
market
like
price.
pay us $14 and you can wait here. No, we're not saying that.
And it's also not an option that you have in our organized PvP areas. So you can't wake here in our battlegrounds, our arenas, or our war plots.
Yeah, indeed. So we'll make our way up here. Aurora is kind of a farming community. It's like a weird mix of military and farming stuff because the military are protecting them from like the Skeech and other various people that are kind of running through the area.
It seems like Jade's afraid to take on more than a few guys at a time.
You
now.
know,
It's
it's
like
like we
after
brought
he
that up.
wiped
Here's
on
the
that
thing,
last.
there's,
that
I
last
know I
run.
can't die twice in one
Why don't you
stream.
use your innate maybe next time you get in
Yeah,
trouble?
well, you know,
That's true. We could do that.
The-
So I want to point out something. You said innate. Every class has an innate ability. What is the Esper's innate ability?
You could almost. It's not only innate. You could almost think of it somewhat as an ultimate ability.
Sure.
Because it's really powerful. And
Yeah.
for the Esper, their ability kind of phases them out.